Quick, someone tell me hello. Hi there, and hello again to you. Today we have a fantastic country concert. This next woman is without a doubt Arizona's most hip cowgirl. Superlatives, don't you think so? Yeah. Yes, indeed she is. Put it simply, two words. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jessi Colter. Hi there, Jessi. The name Jessi Colter is synonymous with country music and many positive emotions like love, loyalty, and perseverance. A tale of passion, sacrifice, and unwavering resolve lurks behind the brilliant surface of the outlaw country movement. Jessi was far more than just a sidekick to Waylon Jennings or an outlaw movement emblem. She was the sole female performer on Wanted, The Outlaws, the first platinum-certified country music album ever. She was a free-spirited musician whose skill and personality shattered every stereotype about country music. The life of Jessi Colter is forever remembered through her timeless anthems like I'm Not Lisa, as well as through her selfless acts of sacrifice and unrelenting fights for equality. Beginning her life as a tiny child in an Arizona church, Jessi rose against all odds to become a legendary symbol of love and song. When did Jessi Colter's life really unfold? Where does she currently reside? To what extent do you keep in mind and value the experiences that shaped her identity? If that's the case, then you're going to love today's video as we go on an emotional journey to discover Jessi Colter's true colors. The Colter family, of which Jessi was a member since his birth on May 25, 1943 in Phoenix, Arizona, exemplified a rare combination of devotion and discipline. Her mother was a pillar of faith and perseverance, while her father was a mining engineer who inculcated rationality and strength in her. As a result of his upbringing, Jessi developed a strong work ethic and an unwavering devotion to the arts. The music and faith of Jessi's family shaped his formative years. The unfaltering faith of her mother, a tuberculosis survivor, was a great source of inspiration for her daughter. At the revival tent gatherings that her mother planned, Jessi started playing the piano and singing gospel songs when she was only 5 years old. Despite her mother's belief in Jessi's musical potential, she refrained from trying to force her son to follow her career path and instead let his talent develop uninhibitedly. Jessi Colter had an adventurous and inquisitive soul despite his upbringing in a conservative household. She gave in to the stage's charms when she was a teenager. Jessi took a daring step toward her artistic adventure when she started performing at local pubs after breaking out of her house when she was 15 years old. It was on these little venues that she initially felt the thrill of making an emotional connection with listeners through music. As a young girl, Jessi Colter wasn't only musically talented and deeply religious. Her independence and dogged determination to overcome obstacles also made her stand out. Despite Jessi Colter's early discovery of her love for music, the road to making music her career was far from smooth. Jessi became famous for her unique style and talent after she began performing late at night in Phoenix clubs. Her life took a turn when she joined the band of legendary rock guitarist Duane Eddy as a backing vocalist when she was 16 years old. Not only did Jessi captivate audiences with her untamed energy and magnetic presence, but she also won Eddie over and married him off as her first husband. Jessi relocated to Los Angeles after her 1962 marriage to Duane Eddy and started promoting herself as a professional musician under the stage name Miriam Eddy. At this venue, she rose to prominence as a performer and songwriter, earning the respect of industry heavyweights like Don Gibson, Dottie West, and Nancy Sinatra. In spite of her rising popularity as a lyricist, Jessi's true ambition was to strike out on her own as a singer. The first two singles that Jessi issued, with Eddie's encouragement, were commercial flops. Because of this setback, Jessi had to temporarily shelve her singing dreams and concentrate on being there for her husband while he was on tour. Having all that, her stint in Hollywood wasn't just a series of busts. She used this time to figure out who she was as a musician and to learn about herself. Jessi and Eddie's marriage began to fall apart in the late 1960s. After they split up in 1968, Jessi went back to Phoenix to figure out who she was. At that moment, it felt like the universe was conspiring against her, but then a glimmer of hope appeared. One of the up-and-coming country musicians she crossed paths with was Waylon Jennings, who was making waves in the new outlaw country scene. As soon as he heard Jessi play, Jennings became her closest musical and life partner. After receiving encouragement from Jennings, Jessi decided to use the stage name Jessi Colter in honor of her famous Wild West train robber ancestor. She obtained a recording contract with RCA Records and became known as Jessi Colter. Jennings and Chet Atkins co-produced her 1970 debut album, A Country Star Is Born. Despite the album's lack of commercial success, It was a pivotal moment in Jessi's career that set the stage for her subsequent triumphs. Jessi has released songs under her own name and has also worked with Jennings on multiple duets, the most famous of which being 1970's Suspicious Minds. Not only did these early hits help Jessi launch her career on her own, but they also cemented her and Jennings' position as country music's power couple. Jessi Colter's early career was fraught with ups and downs, but she overcame these obstacles by staying determined and resilient. From her humble beginnings as a church pianist to her eventual breakout performance on bigger stages, Jessi seemed ready to make a name for herself in the years to come. Jessi Colter overcame adversity to solidify her place in country music with her impressive accomplishments. After signing with Capitol Records in 1975, her breakthrough single, I'm Not Lisa, came out the following year. With little time at the top of the charts, the song became an instant sensation. A cultural sensation, it peaked at #1 on Billboard's country chart and #4 on the Hot 100 pop chart. It was a smashing success. It was a heartbreaking story of loneliness, sorrow, and love. Every syllable was woven into Jessi's voice as if she were reliving a sad event, accompanied by its simple yet meaningful lyrics and moving tune. Both the song's commercial success and its capacity to resonate with listeners, particularly those who had been through a painful breakup, contributed to I'm Not Lisa's iconic status. The song became a musical classic because of the sincere sincerity and relatability that made it work across genres. My Name is Jessi Colter, Jessi's CD released the same year, solidified her already considerable skill. The record surged to the top spot in no time. It peaked at #1 on Cashbox's Top Country Albums chart, #4 on Billboard's Country Albums chart, and achieved certification for outstanding sales at Gold. The catchy melodies and captivating stories told by Jessi were the main reasons why songs like What Happened to Blue Eyes and You Ain't Never Been Loved were so beloved. Her music was more than just music. It was an expression of her innermost feelings, with each song reading like a personal letter that drew the listener into her world of conflicting emotions. Wanted, The Outlaws, Jessi's 1976 album, became the first country album to ever receive platinum certification, further solidifying her fame. Jessi, being the sole female performer amid legendary figures like Tom Paul, Glaser, Willie Nelson, and Waylon Jennings, prevented herself from blending in. In their duet Suspicious Minds, she and Jennings showcased their respective strengths. Jennings' daring, rebellious flair and her own delicate, expressive voice. To me, this song had deeper meaning. A beautiful bit of love it was, empathetic, nuanced, and fervent. Diamond in the Rough, 1976, Jessi, 1976, and Leather and Lace, 1981, a collaboration with Waylon Jennings, were all successful albums in Jessi's continuing career. Songs like The Wild Side of Life and Storms Never Last were featured on Leather and Lace. Storms Never Last showcases Jessi's delicate nature and tenacity. It wasn't just music, it was a message of hope and encouragement to Jennings and herself, telling them that no matter how dark the night, they can weather the storm with faith and optimism. Not only did Jessi's I'm Not Lisa achieve financial success, but it also garnered critical praise, which helped to consolidate her impact in the music industry. The album was nominated for Grammys and CMAs. By shattering conventional norms and positioning herself as a trailblazing female artist in the outlaw country movement, her distinctive musical style fused the gospel's compassion with the movement's rebellious fire. Yet accolades and high positions on the charts weren't the only measures of Jessi's success. She became an idol due to her genuine musical talent, her capacity to strike an emotional chord, and her inspiring life narrative. Whether it was the gentle melodies of I'm Not Lisa or the defiant tenacity of Wanted, the Outlaws, Jessi demonstrated that she was more than simply a member of the outlaw country movement. She embodied it. Personal life for Jessi Colter is a symphony of love, sacrifice, and resilience. If career is a brilliant symphony, behind the scenes, Jessi was a strong woman who put her family first, even if it meant putting her career on wait. In 1969, when they first crossed paths, Waylon Jennings was going through a really low point in his life. Having been saved by Jessi, Jennings freely acknowledged it. I had nearly at rock bottom when I met Jessi. At 138 pounds, I was about to end my life, but meeting Jessi was the finest decision I could have made. Not only did she brighten his life, but she also became his rock, allowing him to pull himself out of his pit of misery. They were married in October 1969, after a brief but intense romance. But there were also times of joy in their relationship. as they battled addiction, bad health, and the unrelenting demands of the music business. While they were newlyweds, Jessi kept up her impressive work record. The brave choice to leave her job to care for Jennings in the early 1980s was hers alone. Jessi had some of the hardest years of his life during this time. Jennings' health suffered greatly as a result of his cocaine addiction and his carefree lifestyle. Jessi was strong as the rock for his family throughout those terrible times. With unfaltering affection, she took care of their finances, was there emotionally, and helped him through innumerable problems. Despite the many obstacles, Jessi persevered in her mission to help Jennings beat his addiction. In 1984, she helped Jennings overcome his addiction with her unwavering love and support. This momentous occasion not only changed his life but also deepened their connection. That wasn't the last of Jessi's sacrifices. In order to focus solely on her family during this time, she had to put her career on hold and pass up many opportunities. In addition to love, the bonds that bound Jessi and Jennings together were evidence of their deep connection. Beyond simple melody, these songs conveyed deeper meaning. Together, they shared tales of love and hardship. Their love, however, had many flaws. The marriage was on the verge of divorcing in the early 1980s as a result of the addiction demands and the difficult reality of the entertainment industry. Staying together through thick and thin demonstrates that love is about more than only sharing happy times. It's also about learning to forgive, making sacrifices, and triumphing over hardship as a unit. The musical legacy of Jessi and Jennings' only son, Waylon Albright Shooter Jennings, was carried on by him after his 1979 birth. Jessi, a dedicated mother, worked tirelessly to support her family and advance in her profession. She taught Shooter the importance of sacrifice and devotion while also nurturing his passion of music. Jessi experienced the worst loss of her life when Jennings died in 2002. She could have crumbled under the weight of her loss, but she kept on living and making art. She got through those tough times with the support of her unshakable faith in God. Jessi detailed her romance with Jennings and how her faith served as a rock during their ordeal in her memoir, An Outlaw and a Lady. The life of Jessi Colter is an enduring story of loyalty, selfless devotion, and subtle self-sacrifice. She is a powerful lady who prioritized her family above anything else in her life, and she is also an accomplished artist. When Waylon Jennings passed away in 2002, Jessi Colter's life was shattered. She had devoted herself to her family and cared for him for years. But Jessi got back up and went back to music instead of giving in to his sadness. She isn't trying to regain her old fame, but rather to forge a deeper connection with her fans. Jessi found solace for her broken spirit in music, which served as more than simply an outlet for her emotions. Out of the Ashes, Jessi's debut album, after her departure from the music